Imagine for a second looking at an absolute mountain of emails and calendar invites. Now, instead of clicking around for an hour or, writing hundreds of lines of custom code, what if you could just type one single sentence to handle it all? Orchestrating your entire Google Workspace using plain English sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, eliminating that frustrating coding friction is exactly the reality we're diving into today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are exploring a literal paradigm shift in how we automate our daily work. We're looking at a system that replaces traditional software development with high-fidelity natural language automation. And there are two core tools making this whole magic trick possible: GF Agent and Gas Fakes. Here's our roadmap for The Explainer today. First, we'll cover the automation magic trick. Second, the brain, which is agent orchestration. Third, the engine, or local execution. Fourth, some real-world no-code examples. And finally, configuration over coding. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the automation magic trick, and ditching code for English. If you have ever tried to build an automation using the traditional Google Apps script IDE, you definitely know the pain points. You're hunting down method signatures, you're stressing over API quotas, and figuring out those incredibly complex authorization loops. I mean, it's a powerful system for sure, but the barrier to entry is just so high. Now, consider this beautifully elegant alternative. Summarize my last 5 emails in a doc. In a traditional setup, you'd have to write code to authenticate Gmail, fetch the actual threads, parse the message bodies, and meticulously insert all that text into docs. Here, actually, scratch that. Here, you literally just ask for it. It completely sidesteps all the messy, token-heavy API coding we are so used to dealing with. Moving on to Section 2. The brain, agent orchestration, and how GF Agent actually thinks. We really have to personify GF Agent for a second because it acts a lot more like a highly organized project manager than just some naive code generator that spits out text and crosses its fingers. It handles technical complexity in 3 distinct steps. First up is decomposition, which breaks your request into logical subtasks. Second, service identification, figures out exactly which Google services are required for the job, like Gmail app or document app. And third, plan formulation, creates a strict sequence of actions. For instance, it logically knows it absolutely must create a Google document first before it can even attempt to write any text into it, right? It's that smart. But you might be wondering, how does it avoid those AI hallucinations? Making things up out of thin air that plagues so many other tools. Well, it uses a very clever 2-tiered documentation pattern to ensure high signal research. Tier 1 is the local index. This gives the agent instant verification using super lean markdown lists to prevent context bloat. Then, if it needs more specific details, it moves to Tier 2, remote deep dives. This is a surgical fetching of pre-parsed tables. It's a zero-scrape design, so it doesn't waste precious time or tokens reading thousands of lines of useless website HTML boilerplate. So what does this all mean for us? The crucial takeaway is this. This 2-tier approach reduces structural noise by 30 to 50%. By avoiding that complex JSON bloat and live website HTML scraping, the agent relies entirely on clean, validated technical grammar. This radically saves on token costs, keeps the agent lightning fast, and most importantly, it guarantees accuracy. Section 3, the engine. Local execution running natively on Node.js. Now, an intelligent brain needs powerful muscle to actually get things done locally. That is exactly where Gas Fakes comes in. It's a powerful emulation layer that runs Google Apps script projects on Node.js as if they were completely native. This allows for high-speed, secure, and synchronous local execution. And synchronous is absolutely the key word here. Just like the official AppScript environment, it removes the massive hurdles of handling promises, async, or wait in JavaScript. It just translates your agent's code into granular Google API requests seamlessly. 10,000. To put that into perspective, that is the massive scale of routine tests executed to ensure this local emulation behaves exactly the same as the live Google platform. With over 1,000 commits to its repository, this environment guarantees undeniable reliability. Because of this incredibly strict compliance, the agent knows for a fact it can handle complex multi-service logic without failing. Let's look at Section 4, real-world no-code examples and some parallel magic. Let me be clear, this isn't just a fun little toy concept. It's a highly robust tool capable of executing multiple, complex workflows at the exact same time. Check this out. You can tell the agent to summarize 5 emails from Martin Hoxie. Simultaneously, it can fetch the weather in Tokyo for noon tomorrow.
And while it's doing all of that, it can silently block time on your calendar without sending invites to anyone, so literally no one bothers you. These fire off locally and seamlessly, giving us a true appreciation for the sheer breadth of what this agent can handle. Let's dive slightly deeper into an even more advanced example to prove just how seamlessly it orchestrates cross-service logic. Imagine this prompt. Fetch the ScriptDB article, convert it to a Google Doc, create a copy, and resize all images to 25%. Think about the intricate orchestration happening behind the scenes here. It uses the URL fetch service for the website, the document service to convert the HTML, the drive service to make a copy, and then it literally iterates through the document's inline images to mathematically resize them using a complex Docs API workaround. All from one single English sentence. No way, right? And the capabilities are just incredibly vast. You can run tasks in a secure sandbox mode, restricting access so it only reads specific inputs. You can have it analyze a massive spreadsheet of global airport data, find the highest 5 airports, convert their elevation to meters, and calculate their Great Circle distances all the way to London. Then, you can export that data to a PDF and email it specifically signed by the Pink Panther. Complex spreadsheet analysis, secure environments, and automated routing perfectly execute it. Finally, Section 5, configuration over coding and getting started locally. Now, if this all sounds like pure wizardry, let's bring it back down to earth and see how easily you can run this on your own machine. It's an incredibly straightforward 3-step process. Step 1, define scopes in your manifest. This just tells the agent which APIs it's legally allowed to access. Step 2, initialize and authenticate in your terminal to grant the agent permission to act on your behalf. And Step 3, teach your agent new skills, or simply rely on the extensive built-in ones. That's the whole shebang. You are instantly ready to command your workspace. Behind the scenes, basic configuration handles everything. Simple environment variables and a local .env file manage all the complex routing. You have your gf_manifest to point to your scopes, auth type for your Google authentication strategy, and log destination to easily emulate the native logger, sending outputs to your console, the cloud, or both. It is incredibly clean. Which brings us to our final provocative thought for the day. With the friction of coding completely gone, what will you build in your workspace tomorrow? By acting as an incredibly smart orchestrator, backed by a robust, parity-compliant local emulation engine, GFAT Agent fundamentally changes our relationship with Google Workspace. You no longer need to be an API expert to automate your digital workflow. You just need to know what to ask for. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this sparked your curiosity, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what you build.